This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We are your hosts,
Cheryl
and Jay.
So this is a special episode because we don't have a movie or a TV show. It will be called the Superbowl Trailer Extravaganza episode. And just movie trailers. We're not doing all the commercials for everything because this is not that type of podcast. So we do, though, have some movie and show news first, and then we'll do our quick bits section in the middle, and then at the end we'll do our trailers, which what will be funny is we don't know what trailers are out yet because it is Saturday.
Right.
So we're recording half and half. We're going to record the trailers after the Super Bowl, but we want to get our news and stuff out of the way first. So it will have a quick turnaround because our episode comes out on Monday.
Right.
Long nights ahead. Okay, so you want to start off with our first bits of movie news?
Sure. So Spike Lee and Denzel Washington are back together, and this comes via Variety article. So Spike Lee and Denzel Washington are rejoining to make another movie. This is going to be the 5th collaboration for them. Their last was in 2006, and it was Inside Man, which was a great movie.
I really like Inside Man because it was different for Spike Lee, for one. Mm-hmm. Two, it was just a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie in general.
This is going to be an Apple original film, and it's going to be under A24, which A24 is continuing
They're trying to get in.
Rack up wins, but they are really kicking down the door into the mainstream studio space. And the movie is going to be called High and Low, which is a English language reinterpretation of an Akira Kurosawa crime thriller of the same name.
Now, you're going to have to give the audience a little background on Akira because we had a whole discussion before this, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that.
So Akira Kurosawa is like this really popular and famed Japanese director. He has a very long filmography, but even longer than the filmography is the list of movies that were inspired by his films. Mostly, a lot of them were mostly inspired by Seven Samurai. But you have movies like The Magnificent Seven, Rebel Moon that just recently came out was inspired by Akira Kurosawa. The creator Rebel Moon was, I think, explicitly inspired by Seven Samurai. The creator wasn't inspired by anything specific, but just his style of filmmaking and directing.
Okay.
Harder They Fall. A lot of the movies where it's like get the band together to go against unspeakable odds.
Interesting.
Is an Akira Kurosawa inspired film.
According to Wikipedia, it says he is widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential filmmakers in the history of cinema. So I wonder what Spike Lee is taking from, I know it's a reinterpretation, but I wonder like what aspects of it he's going to keep for this particular movie.
I'm not sure. So I looked up the synopsis of High and Low. It's a 1963 film made by Akira Kurosawa, and it follows the story of a board member for a Japanese company who is forced to make a decision between using a vast amount of wealth to gain executive control and helping his employee by lending him the money to free his child from kidnappers.
Oh, now Denzel knows something about some kidnapping.
He does.
So this is his acting expertise area.
Yeah.
Feeling a little Man on Fire, maybe a little Equalizer, a little touch of not really Inside Man, but I'm digging it.
Yeah, it's a crime thriller. That's Denzel Washington's lane.
Oh, what else? Kidnapping, holding people hostage.
Equalizer?
Nope. Hospital. Oh, Lord.
John Q?
No. Oh, yes. I think it was John Q.
Yes.
Yes.
He was the one holding people hostage.
Yep, correct. That's what I meant.
A Bug's Life was also inspired by Seven Samurai.
I think I knew that.
Yeah. That was going down the movies that inspired Rebel Moon rabbit hole.
Right. It was.
Yeah.
Hilarious. We don't have any type of release date for this, but it will be theatrical. And then they'll obviously put it on Apple TV afterwards, which makes me think we won't get a DVD, but that's a side note.
I will say that it's going to be Apple original, so the budget is unlimited.
You're right. It's probably going to be $200 million.
So it's going to be
like every other Apple movie.
Not only are we going to get a good movie because it comes from Spike Lee and Denzel Washington collaboration, but it's going to be well made and it's going to also look nice.
Beautiful gowns. Apple got money.
We could be looking at a Best Picture.
Right. And it's A24 as well.
And it's A24.
So we got all the makings of a masterpiece. Is really
killing it lately.
Absolutely.
Okay, next bit of news. A new Predator movie is being announced. This is via Hollywood Reporter. This is going to be directed by Dan Trachtenberg. If you are unfamiliar with Dan Trachtenberg, he has 2 films on his filmography.
Oh, he has, I don't know, one. One is Prey. What's the other one? This one?
10 Cloverfield Lane. That was the one with John Goodman.
Oh, okay.
And it took place in his basement.
People like that one.
It was a very slow, good movie that had a stinger that was worth it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I saw that or the original Cloverfield. It looked too spooky for me, but as it turned out, it was more of a thriller, right? Not a horror movie.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane was mostly a thriller about a girl and a guy who were stuck in the basement of this crazy doomsday guy who was John Goodman. And then at the end of the movie, she breaks out and she gets back to her car and the Cloverfield monster is walking around.
Right.
Yeah.
That I knew the ending because I knew the alien aspect of it.
Yeah. So this is being made by Dan Trachtenberg, who short filmography, but pretty decent stuff. We saw Prey.
I liked
Hulu
Prey
when it came out, and Prey was really good. It was like the first woman-led Prey movie.
Yep, and it was a lot of chatter after it came out of how it should have went to theaters because it was a streaming only movie,
and it looked really good. It was centered around natives, so it was a very new direction for Prey. We really liked it. This new Predator film is going to be titled Badlands. It is supposed to take place in the near future.
Yes, right. So this is not a Prey sequel. I don't think it is. It's like a totally separate movie in the same universe set in the future. So
Badlands makes me think post-apocalyptic. Humans are fighting for survival
after all the Prey stuff then went down.
Everything is
Predator
a desert
stuff.
I'm thinking Mad Max with predators.
Planet of the Apes with predators.
I'm thinking even worse.
Okay.
I feel like Mad Max is more desolate than Planet Apes. Like even Planet of the Apes has greenery.
You're right.
Badlands makes
Mad
me
Max
think
is
of like
straight up desert.
Yeah, that makes me think of like Skull and Bones.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was like a picture of like a predator shooting a pile of bones with his side blaster. So it just makes me think of like no grass, no water, all desert heat, and trying to survive.
That would be different, right? A setting for Predator movies. Normally they're in like jungles and
Normally they're in a jungle. There was a Danny Glover one where it took place in L.A.
Oh, really?
That was Predator 2.
I missed that.
You missed that one. The Sanaa Lathan one was Alien versus Predator.
Now that one I've seen. I've seen that. That was on a different planet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Predator and Alien movies are good with female leads. You have Sigourney Weaver, OG.
Right.
You have Sanaa
for
Lathan,
Alien.
which people loved that one, even though it wasn't the best of the movies. It
was an entertaining watch.
It was entertaining. And Sanaa Lathan.
Right.
And we just had, what was the last Alien movie?
Oh, that was with
Prometheus. That's one.
I was going to say, because the lead was the lady from Fantastic Beast, whose name I can't remember.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had the Charlize Theron one, which was...
I didn't know she did an Alien movie?
Prometheus. That was the Alien prequel movie.
Okay.
And then after that was Alien...
Covenant.
I was going to
say
Alien Constellation.
Close enough. You would have been in the right ballpark.
Alien Covenant, which had like Ripley Part 2 in it. That was really good. So this one is supposed to be rumored to be a female-led movie.
Right. Yeah, plot details are secret.
Yeah.
Prey is supposed to be female-led. But speaking of Prey, there is a Prey 2 in the works, which is interesting because of how Prey ended.
Yeah, it ended with the cliffhanger. Wasn't another ship approaching?
Yes. And then Prey is so far in the past. It's like, I can't remember years. Maybe like 1800s, 1700s.
It's pre-colonization.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we know what happens. So maybe they're trying to show the middle part between Prey and then what we see in the first Predator movie.
Because usually what the whole thing is, once you beat one of the Predators, I forget what
1817.
I think they're called the Yahweh.
I'm sorry, 1719 is when Prey takes place.
So once you beat one of the Predators, they give you like its staff, or they give you a weapon of it as a reward.
Right.
I think what she got was the gun.
Yes.
And then they leave you alone. They don't come back for you. They don't do revenge. So maybe Prey 2 is going to be about them going after the rest of the Spaniards?
So post-credit scene, and I've only seen Prey once, so I had to look it up. In a post-credit scene, the narrative is summarized in a series of art paintings that ends with a depiction of 3 predator vessels descending towards the tribe.
Right.
So it's going to be about the 3 coming. I would assume.
So they're gonna get revenge on a tribe? That's weird. They should leave the tribe alone. That was enough.
Right. Yeah, they did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Did a lot of damage. But, so we have a Prey 2 coming out. We have a Predator movie coming out. I like the first one, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
R.I.P. Carl Weathers. That's the first Predator movie.
Oh, you're right.
He was in the first one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Happier times.
Arnold
though.
Schwarzenegger cameo? It's supposed to be set in the future.
Sure.
Near
Why not?
Future.
Why not? I mean, just
Hey.
He's still alive. Just do it. Just make it happen. Even if it's like a post-credit scene, like they did The Rock in Fast and Furious 25 or whatever that was. Next, speaking of sequels or new movies coming out from franchises, there is so for a long time they've been talking about wanting to revamp Pirates of the Caribbean, but they want to do it where it's a female-led movie versus it being Jack Sparrow and his gang of goons. Reportedly, the news, and this there was a dust up about this, which, whatever, I roll. It was reported that Ayo Edebiri is being eyed to join the cast for a character named Annie, and it's going to be female-led, and that Disney wants a younger cast of pirates looking for a hidden treasure. The dust up was, I guess, Elon Musk was upset because he was like, we're messing with the lore, and it was like, dude,
messing with the Lord.
The lore of pirates and it being female led versus it being led by a male character this time.
It's weird because Jack Sparrow didn't even have a ship. He wasn't like a legitimate pirate in the first one. He stole his shit from Zoe Saldana, who was a black female pirate.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep going past that. Anywho,
so there was literally a black female pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean before there was the pirate Jack Sparrow, because he was not a pirate. He stole her boat.
You're trying to make sense out of nonsense, and I appreciate you for that.
I pay attention to movies that I watch.
I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, the original trilogy, and I'm not going to talk about the other movies.
That's the lore. The lore is that Jack Sparrow got his ship from a black woman.
Mind you, this whole trilogy is based on a ride from a movie from Disney.
A ride that no one cared about before they made the movie.
Exactly.
So there's no lore there.
But it's interesting that this one is still coming out. I think Margot Robbie at one point might have been attached.
Yeah, that was the talk.
Yes.
So it went through like 3 phases of reboot. It was sober up Johnny Depp, to bring him back,
and y'all be friends again because he had the whole thing.
I think he got sober, but the mess just got too much.
Exactly.
So they were like, we can't do this, which sucks because I did not like the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
2.
I didn't like the last 2. I completely forget about the Blackbeard one.
Yep.
But I didn't like the last one, but I did appreciate that they brought Will Turner back and they kind of left the stinger that it was going to be Will focused again because he was still kind of running from the ghost of Davy Jones. And then they never followed back up on that. I was interested in that.
Yes, how the last one ended gave me some hope.
Yeah.
But then it's been...
I guess we're never going to go back to that.
No, it don't seem...
So...
Loose end will never be tied.
You are right. They were going to do Margot Robbie because she was getting a lot of
buzz
for her roles, but now she's too famous.
No, Disney not gonna pay for her.
Yeah, she's too famous
Absolutely
now. And she's like now she's producing billion-dollar films herself. She doesn't have to try to put more money in Disney's pockets.
Exactly.
So Ayo is a good choice.
I mean, it's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I'm gonna see it. I'm probably gonna see it. It doesn't really matter who they put. It does matter who they put. But there we go.
Yeah, I've seen even the bad ones, even the Fast and Furious. We're fans of the Fast franchise, and we've still seen the bad ones.
We still go, although I don't know if they're going to get me for this next one.
Ayo is on the come up.
She is.
Career-wise. She hasn't got an Oscar yet, so this is their best chance to try to tack her down for a franchise.
Listen, before she get that right, before she win anything else, y'all better get her in this because she about to be like, actually, I cost too much for y'all.
Right.
But a younger cast of pirates looking for a hidden treasure is super vague, and that is totally fine because Pirates of the Caribbean are not like super deep movies. But I think it's funny that they're going for a younger cast because they are clearly trying to make another trilogy out of this.
Yeah, and why not?
They need the people to be on the younger side so they can grow up with the franchise.
And this sounds like it's going to be a Force Awakens of Pirates of the Caribbean. We're literally just going to get the first movie again with a different group of people. Maybe bring back some of the characters who didn't die, like crew members. You don't have to bring back Jack Sparrow, but you can assume they all went their own ways after the last one. So you can bring back crew members,
right, from the previous trilogies. I agree with that. We'll see if it makes it.
It depends on who else they cast.
Yeah, it depends on not that who. If you're gonna have a female-led movie, however, you need a female director, in my personal opinion. If you're gonna take it, I mean, let's just go all the way.
Nita Costa.
She probably putting Disney on ice for a little while, but
yeah, I would.
There are plenty other women directors that could nab for this. Yeah. I'm just saying, just put 10 toes down on. If we're doing all female-led cast, then go ahead and get a female director. I'm putting it out there. Putting it out there.
But I'm excited. I would see this. Absolutely. Ao's funny. She's charismatic. And I'm here for Black Pirates.
Well, I'm never not here for that. So. Speaking of Disney, there was some sort of, I don't know if it was an investor call or something. Bob Iger was doing a lot of talking.
He did.
A couple days ago. And I'm like, what is going on? There was some sort of stakeholder investor Disney company call where he announced a lot of movies and what their release dates / years are, because some of them don't have dates, they just have years. So we're gonna run down a list. We just talked about Prey and Alien, so there's another Alien movie coming out. I think this is a sequel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sequel.
Okay, Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna butcher that. Alien Romulus is coming out this year, August 16th, 2024. I don't know much about it, though, to be very honest. Which, I mean, you're here for the aliens, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah, the movie's going to be about a crew of researchers who have no business touching things, and being torn apart by aliens, because that's what all of them are. Cinema. Title is interesting. Romulus was the legendary founder and first king of Rome. He built the city of Rome. So
we getting ancient city tides.
Are we going to get like a kingdom of aliens?
Like underground on a planet nobody's ever been to? Sure.
Yeah, or is this going to be like are we going to get like an alien queen? Because they usually whip out the alien queen,
of course,
on random occasion, or an alien king. I don't know. It's going to be the title sounds deliberate.
It sounds like it's going to gear towards something that's ancient, that's been around before humans ever existed.
Or is Michael Fassbender coming back? Because we know he lived.
He did.
And he took the eggs and put the rest of the crew to sleep.
He's not in the cast list. And to be quite honest, I don't recognize anybody in this cast list, so I'm not going to read it off. But, interesting note, this was originally going to be released on Hulu, which sounds crazy to me to put an alien movie on Hulu straight out of the gate. But it was switched to a theatrical release by 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that it was going to be on Hulu a while ago.
I feel like Alien...
I think it's because of Prey.
Oh,
they were
because they did
the
Prey.
Alien Prey franchises on Hulu.
Yeah, they definitely should have put Prey on theatrical. But I think it was also early COVID, so they were probably just trying to get it out.
The only person I recognize on this cast list is Kaylee Spaney.
Who's that?
She played Priscilla.
Oh, just recently.
And Isabella Merced, who is in Madam Web.
Ah, okay.
And I think she's going to be the hot girl for Superman Legacy.
You're right. I think you are right.
Yeah, these are the only two people I recognize.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're here for the aliens and the action. The director is Fede Alvarez. Yeah. I love how you correct me because I would sound crazy on here by myself.
Fede Alvarez has a great filmography of movies that you have never seen.
They horror movies?
Of course.
Oh, Lord, this movie gonna be scary.
We have Don't Breathe 1 and 2.
Oh, my Lord.
We have The Evil Dead.
Oh, my God.
The 2013 reboot, which was really good.
Okay.
The awful Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot that went on Netflix.
Nope, I definitely missed that.
But yeah, he has a long line of good, tense horror movies. Like jump scare.
Oh, okay. So I'm losing popcorn is what you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which fits for Alien. You
It does.
You want to be
right.
tense and on edge when watching an Alien.
You're right. So it's being called a science fiction horror film. So there we go. which is perfect. Right. Yeah. Which is in line. So Alien is coming out this summer. We are definitely going to go see it. And I will be losing popcorn. It's fine. It's totally fine. Another movie that's coming out is Moana 2. It is coming out November 27th. So that's giving me Thanksgiving weekend type movie. I have not seen the first one. So
I was outside of Moana came out when
you passed
was
that
out of the
stage.
age of Disney princesses.
People seem excited about it. I think they're trying to get The Rock back for this, it seems like.
He's supposed to really love being involved with Moana. He's really involved with the live action one that
I was just about to say, we're also getting a live action. So this seems, either do the sequel or do the live action. I don't know if you need both in the same
You have to wrap up
decade.
one before you start the other.
Right.
Like if you're still going to do sequels, you got to get those done. You can't make them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure y'all will check it out. We probably won't. Going on to the next one that I am excited about is Zootopia 2.
So that was all that's coming out this year from Disney?
We got Deadpool.
So just those three things?
Trying to think. Yeah, Disney definitely is going to be quiet in 2024. Yeah. But Zootopia 2 is coming out, but that's not until November 2025.
They're like a whole year later.
A whole year later. It's also based on the date 26, it also looks like they're trying to target a Thanksgiving Day release. I like the first Zootopia. I think it's a cult classic at this point.
Very surprising subject matter.
It was, but it was good. So
like Elemental a little bit.
Yes. So it's going to be a blockbuster hit.
Yeah.
Coming out during Thanksgiving, and the first one was already loved by a lot of people. Going on to the next one, Frozen 3. I just saw Frozen 1.
I saw that.
Yesterday.
On your Instagram story.
Like yesterday, as in literally less than 24 hours ago. My BFF JL was appalled that I had not seen it. And we were having a movie night. And so we watched Frozen. It's cute. I mean, it's cute. I feel like, I'm interested in seeing how the second one played out.
I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one.
Oh, wait. You have seen it and I had not seen it?
I've seen the first Frozen.
Now I feel like I'm way behind the curve. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so I'm going to check out the second one because I feel like I'm curious of what the continuation was based on the first one. But it's not coming out till 2026. So we got a little while.
Aren't they also supposed to be doing a live-action Frozen?
I think there's rumors of live action for everything Disney related at this point. I don't see Frozen being live action though. Only because it's way too icy.
Okay.
That sounds crazy. But
way too much visual effects?
It would be there you go. It would literally be all volume.
And don't test Disney because they
listen,
will.
When we say all volume, I think we've talked about the volume before repeatedly, or at least we have mentioned it. The volume is basically a room where you can film a whole movie, but it's
made up of screens.
Screens indoors. There's no actual physical set.
No.
The Mandalorian is filmed in the volume, but the Mandalorian looks great. However,
other Star Wars stuff is filmed on the volume.
It looks good.
It doesn't seem to be the same team that does the Marvel stuff.
I don't
volume though.
Listen, I know I'm only 24 hours into having seen the first Frozen, but I don't think we need a live action. It wouldn't look great.
Okay.
In my personal opinion. But we're not getting Frozen 3 till 2026, so don't hold your breath on that.
Okay.
We have no plot details. We have no cast. So just chill. Literally. Pun intended. Next one we have is Toy Story 5, which is also not coming out until 2026. And I did not watch Toy Story 4 because everybody talked me out of it because of how sad I heard it was.
It's only sad because Woody leaves at the end.
I know, but I don't want to be sad.
But nobody dies. I mean, the toys still stay together.
Which leads to, why are we doing a 5?
I don't know.
Is there something that happened in 4 that would lead to a 5?
So spoilers for Toy Story 4.
Okay.
Which I kind of already spoiled a little bit. So spoilers for Toy Story 4, 3, 2, 1. Bo Peep has turned into Batman.
Okay.
And she is part of a traveling
circus
carnival.
Okay.
Where they have a section where kids can come play with loose toys. So she is
Okay.
the guardian and protector of the toy pen.
Okay.
To make sure that they all stay together.
Oh, I see. And kids don't like run off with him and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And Woody joins her because he's still in love with Bo Peep. And he wants to be a part of a new forever family.
Gotcha.
Where
so
they don't,
he stays.
where they have the freedom of not having an owner.
Okay.
And they don't get tied to like one child. They get to meet all types of different children across the world and play with them forever.
So what happened to the other toys?
The other toys go back to be with the girl that Andy gave them to.
Okay.
And they stick together.
Okay.
Because they still enjoy having an owner.
I can see how that would be bittersweet. It's kind of like the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. In a sense, it feels like.
Yeah, because I guess it kind of ends where Woody leaves and Buzz is the new Woody.
Okay.
For them. Buzz is the new Sid for the toys.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that because I'm not going to watch it. But
yeah, you don't need to watch it.
I will check out. We'll see what Toy Story 5 is talking about. Yes, we know we don't need it. And they're really milking this Toy Story.
We didn't need 4.
We probably didn't need 3 or 2.
3 was good.
Oh, no, I liked it. Don't get me wrong.
Was the last. We didn't need more Toy Stories after Andy grew up.
Right. You're right. It's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean. We was good at 3. And then y'all messed around and did 4 and 5. And we like, what are y'all doing? It's just getting a little too much. So we'll see. The fact that everybody continues to go see these movies is why we're getting a 5. That's the best explanation for it.
Yeah.
Because they know we're going to go see 5 when it comes out in 2026. Also coming out in 2026, there are 2 Star Wars movies. We already know the first one, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Don't like that title.
I don't either. It doesn't really flow.
It lacks creativity.
It doesn't flow off the tongue. The Mandalorian
and Grogu
has too many syllables, for one, to be a movie title. Like, and Grogu, then you like add more onto it. It just needs to be called Mando. No? Like Han Solo, Mando, Star Wars already has one. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like it lacks creativity. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, we know the cast. What's
well, here's the thing though. Nobody, if you are not keeping up with Star Wars, you have no idea who these people are.
That's true.
None. So they have to literally tell you, this movie is
true.
about Mando and Baby Yoda. By the way, Baby Yoda's real name is Grogu. I think that's what they're having to do with this. I don't know what the other Star Wars movie is. I'm assuming it's going to be maybe one of the trios that they announced a couple months ago.
Ahsoka-centered movie. Because what other character out of The Mandalorian was built enough hype to get?
Unless they're doing like the Rey movie, the one movie that's supposed to be like...
No, those are supposed to be not
later?
even close.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, announced, that's it, and that Rey.
Got you.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, one of these are going to come out in the summer, and one of these are going to come out during the holidays. That's a lot of Disney. Here's the thing with Disney. They're going to be real quiet this year, and then the next 2 years... it's going to be too much.
Secret Wars is supposed to be at some point in 2026, too.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Or Kang Dynasty, one of the
Kang
two.
Dynasty.
I think it's Kang Dynasty first.
Yeah. Kang Dynasty is first.
So that's 2026.
And then Secret Wars is 2027, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you're right. So where are they going to put the Marvel movie amongst Frozen, Toy Story, and the 2 Star Wars movies?
Because for Avengers movies, they usually do the April-May slot.
I guess, I don't know. All these overlap. I was like, maybe these audiences don't overlap. Lies, they all overlap.
They're gonna, yeah.
So Disney has a lot coming out.
I'd be worried about Friendly Fire.
Disney at least does a pretty decent job of not eating their own movies, unlike WB, which will put 2 things out at the same time. Like 2 musicals like Wonka and The Color Purple. And you're like,
them compete.
Right. And Aquaman.
Yeah.
All at the same time. You're like, do y'all know that y'all eating your own movies?
Yeah.
But here nor there. WB is a hot mess. A lot of Disney movies coming out. We get 2 this year. We'll be at 3 this year. And then everything else is at 25 and 26. Next thing we have for our news is Goosebumps got renewed. Speaking of Disney, this is also Disney news.
This is funny.
Oh, wait a minute. Goosebumps got renewed for season 2 at Disney Plus, and it will be which I didn't know this when we were watching the first season. It's an anthology series. Is that news to you?
Goosebumps?
Yes.
No, and Goosebumps was an anthology series.
Okay.
That's why it's funny.
So they are basically, I'm not going to say course correcting because maybe we didn't notice at the beginning. But so the second season will be 8 episodes compared to 10 episodes of the first season. So it'll be shorter and they're going an anthology route what that basically means is everybody you saw for the first season is null and void.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a whole new cast for the second season, which I'm sure the old cast is like, what the heck?
Yeah.
They were all pretty young actors too. So I'm assuming they were kind of be like, hey, we can kind of go to season after season after season. Negative. And I don't know if that's a great idea.
I think it's a better idea than the first season, because the first season was the main issue a lot of people had when that reveal trailer came out about the first season.
Oh, that it wasn't an
they're
anthology.
all supposed to be like friends and connected, and I didn't like. We only watched a few of the first episodes of season 1,
and I did not finish it.
Yeah, because I just didn't like the whole. They're supposed to be connected through this family. All of these families are connected because they obviously either
went to school together,
bullied or killed a child, and the ghost is coming back after the children instead of the parents who clearly
were still alive,
committed manslaughter of some sort.
My thing was they didn't have to call it Goosebumps. That was my biggest thing with Goosebumps.
If they were going to do that, well, they had to call it Goosebumps because they were stealing the stories.
Right, but the stories were such me, not a huge part of the plot to where they could have called this based off Goosebumps instead of calling it Goosebumps.
Yeah, they only called it Goosebumps because they literally had to steal the story about the mask
name recognition
and the plants and the clones and stuff like that.
Right.
And them doing this for the second season is just kind of, it sounds like it's them saying, we tried something new and we're going to go over well. So now we're going to act like
we're starting
season
over.
1 didn't happen.
Yeah.
And we're just going to
that sucks.
Because original Goosebumps was like Twilight Zone for kids.
Yeah. And that's what it probably should have been.
Non-connected stories about weird, spooky things happening. That's what they should have did the first time.
Which is probably what they're doing this time. So the official description of season 2 is teenage siblings discover a threat within their home. Ooh. Setting off a chain of events that unravel a profound mystery. As they delve into the unknown, the duo... Oh, siblings. Okay. The duo finds themselves entangled in a story of 5 teenagers who mysteriously vanished in 1994. So we got, I'm just going to say brother-sister duo because I don't know, are going to get to the bottom of a mystery of 5 teenagers, 5 whole people who vanished 20 years ago.
Still too connected.
Actually, not 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah, you're right. It's still too connected.
Because it's still connected to 2 teenage siblings who I guess are just going to journey through these different stories.
I was going to say, what stories? They already picked some of the most popular ones from last time.
And botched them.
Right. Like, I mean, how are you going, what's more popular than like The Dummy and Say Cheese and Die and all of that? They don't need to call it Goosebumps, but they trying to keep the name recognition. And they're probably trying to get back to people who completely watched in like the first season.
They should go like, I'm going to say the Black Mirror route, even though that's an
anthology too, right?
That's the Twilight Zone route because it all goes back to Twilight Zone. You should just do different stories. You should have just did different stories, unconnected, and you can do like Black Mirror does, stunt casting, where you can have actual actors show up in these 30-minute episodes. Like,
they're not paying for that.
It's Disney. They got the money. They gonna waste it doing this.
I didn't say they didn't have it. I said they're not paying for that.
They got more money than Netflix, and Netflix is getting actual actors like Yaya to be in like a 30-minute episode. Or Anthony Mackie to be like in a 30-minute episode.
You're right.
About something random, and then you don't see him again.
Right, because that's the episode.
Yeah.
I was surprised that it got a second season, to be honest.
That would at least get people to watch it.
When I saw that news, I was like, whoa, but I was saddened to see that the second season is not the first cast. They might have gotten me back if it was the same cast. Now that I know I got to learn all new people, I'm not interested.
And now you know this first season doesn't matter because they're basically erasing it.
Exactly.
And the show has no star power. When you make a show, you have to also cast people that people want to see.
Or if you want the people to come back from the first season, cast the same people.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
But this has no star power. First season didn't. It sounds like the second season is going the same route.
Somebody had to have watched it, though, because there's no way they renewed this without the numbers. There's no way.
I don't know.
There are some Goosebumps fans out there, and congratulations to y'all.
Y'all won the battle.
Y'all won. All right. So next we're going to get into our quick bits episode. So this is just quick one-liner news that we probably going to talk about one thing for 5 minutes, even though this is supposed to be quick. First thing is part 2 of Invincible season 2 comes out March 14th, which feels very far away.
Was there a trailer for this?
No.
I didn't watch it.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You missed nothing.
Maybe it'll be for Superbowl.
you're right. Amazon got it.
Yeah.
Amazon got it. We liked the first part of Invincible, so gonna watch the second part. We'll probably also review this on the podcast.
Yeah, we reviewed part 1. We liked it. I think it should focus a little bit more on Mark and his mom and less on the
side people
because they were very boring the first season.
Our biggest qualm was that it was too much side stuff going on that we did not particularly
Mark,
care for.
his mom, Omni-Man, his new
Cecil. Yeah.
All that stuff was very good.
Yep.
But anything that focused on the new team of Avengers was terrible.
Right. Don't know how many episodes, but we'll definitely probably talk about this when it all comes out.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this was it's kind of funny. So last episode, we talked about a new Jurassic Park movie.
And we were excited.
The guy who wrote the first 2 Jurassic Park movies was coming back to do the script. And then the news came out earlier this week that they found a director. And then by the end of this week, that director is gone.
Yes.
So David, I'm going to say his last name wrong. Leitch.
Just Leitch.
Okay. David Leitch joined and then he left the project. Now, when you sent me this tweet, I was like, oh, that's okay. Because I didn't really like his work all that much. So I was kind of okay with that. But what made me nervous was the quote that came with the tweet, which was, the new Jurassic World movie needs a director that will essentially have been more of a shooter. There's not enough time to work with new ideas. And I was like, oh, no. Because he left due to creative differences. And when you hear that quote, you're like, yeah, I can see why. But now I'm nervous again.
Yeah, that's a bad reason. Creative differences means that we broke up not amicably. Whenever you hear creative differences, that was the same reason. What's his name?
What movie?
Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Sam Raimi.
No, the first one.
Oh, I can't. Scott Derrickson. There it is.
It's the same reason Scott Derrickson left the Multiverse of Madness because it was for creative differences. And then we got the Sam Raimi version that was good, but
people didn't love it.
Definitely had Sam Raimi issues.
People didn't. I personally am a fan fave, but it was not well received across the board.
No,
for sure. The reason why I was nervous about David Leitch was because now he's done Atomic Blonde, which I did not see.
Good movie.
Deadpool 2, which not my favorite.
People like Deadpool 2, but it was not everyone's favorite Deadpool so far.
It's not better than 1, in my opinion. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, which I fast forwarded through, or maybe just cut off.
I've seen everything except for the part where they got to the island.
You didn't miss nothing.
Yeah.
They won. Violent Night, I don't even know what that is.
Nobody. Okay. Nobody was the poor man's John Wick.
Okay, and then Bullet Train, which did not get...
Nobody liked.
No.
Literally, yeah. I don't hear a single good thing about Bullet Train, which is so weird because it has a really good looking trailer.
It does. It's got
a bunch of people that we like.
Good cast.
And
did not
literally
go well.
Everybody said it was a horrible movie.
Right, and his next movie that he has coming out is The Fall Guy, which
looks
equally
horrible.
Don't want to see that really either. So when he left, I was like, oh, that's okay, because not a fan. But then I heard why he left, and they said that they just need somebody because there's not time to work with new ideas. I was like, oh no,
there's not enough time to work with new ideas.
I told you this movie coming out too soon. Did I say that?
I don't know why they're trying so hard to meet that deadline, because that just means they're just trying to throw some crap together to push out. And why?
I don't know, because none of these studios need this money.
Every single Jurassic World movie, for everybody that says, oh, they don't like Jurassic World because it's not like Jurassic Park, every single one of those movies made $1 billion.
They sure did.
So
they sure did.
You're in the minority if you don't like the Jurassic World movies. I'm sorry to tell you, you're in the quiet part of the room.
And they weren't. The second one was bad. The third one was fine. The first one I actually really do like.
The part when they were at the park, because it felt original. I really liked that one. The third one, I didn't care for the second one. Second one was totally missable. But that third one I liked.
It was cool.
Because it was kind of like an in-game version of Jurassic.
Right. But they feel like they're just trying to put something out.
Yeah, why? You did say that how are they going to make this deadline? And it seems like
they don't care about how they make it.
They don't care about how they make the film, as long as they have something to put on a screen by July 2nd. And I think that's unnecessary. Yeah.
So losing some enthusiasm I had for this movie just from last week. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. The quote, movie needs a director that would essentially have been more of a shooter.
I don't even know what that means.
What does that mean?
Stand there and go cut in action? Maybe? It don't sound good no matter how you put it.
It doesn't sound good at all.
It doesn't sound good.
Maybe they're trying to do like a 65 length film.
No.
Which that was the issue with 65.
It was
too short.
Right. They didn't put enough meat on them dinosaur bones.
Had no ideas though.
It did. 65 could have been great.
Yeah.
But it was not great.
All right, next tidbit. It's supposed to be a tit.
Tom Cruise is circling to star in Quentin Tarantino's final film, The Movie Critic, and this was via Jeff Snyder. We don't know what this movie is about. We know that Brad Pitt got cast. I think that was in our quick bits last time. We don't know if Tom Cruise is going to be in a big role, small role.
Probably small.
I was going to say, if I had to guess with a Quentin Tarantino movie, 30 seconds max. We'll see. But
this sounds like stunt casting. It
okay.
sounds like Tom Cruise just wanted to be in it because
it's his last
opportunity to be in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
True.
And like most Quentin Tarantino movies, I don't know what the synopsis is going to be until I see a trailer.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Nobody will.
So this could not even have anything to do with movie critics.
Probably not.
So.
Okay, so another movie we talked about, maybe not last episode, but episode before last, was the Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan collab about the secret / not so secret vampire movie. We got a little bit of news this week that Michael B. Jordan apparently will star as twins in this movie. And it's supposed
So is that a rumor?
It's via Puck News, who I think is like
that used to be the guy who used to run.
He did used to run something.
Hollywood Reporter.
Oh.
I think it was a Hollywood Reporter.
Okay.
He left and started his own.
Okay, so he could be considered reliable, I would say. But Michael B. Jordan is apparently playing twins in this 1930s era vampire movie. That's going to stretch them acting chops, boy. I mean, playing twins is not easy. And it's not often done well in a movie.
When was the last time a character played twins?
Rachel Weisz played twins when they were both doctors, I think. I did not see that movie. But based on the trailer, it looked like she was doing the thing.
Will Smith played a younger version of himself in that awful movie.
You just said the word awful.
Oh.
Okay. Who else played twins?
Let's see. Movies with twins.
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan.
In what?
In Parent Trap.
Okay. That's old.
We're circling back.
We're going way back because I was about to say Christian Bale technically played twins in The Prestige, which is also old.
Does that count? Because you don't really find out he's twins until like the end.
I mean, listen, you ain't seen The Prestige. That's on you.
Yeah.
I mean, he counted because in the several scenes, I think you see both of them at least maybe once or twice.
Okay.
It probably don't count.
There's not that many movies where an actor plays twins.
Oh, so he's going to be stepping into not super charted territory.
There's a lot, but not a lot of movies ones that people have seen. Okay. But I will say that Parent Trap is at the top of the list.
I'll
Lindsay
give you
Lohan
that.
is the current reigning
give
supreme of actor who has played sisters.
So I wonder if the twins are going to be like a dynamic duo fighting pair, or if they're going to be rivals. Like maybe one's a vampire, one isn't.
They should be a fighting pair because there have been way too many instances where twins have been rivals.
We a hot mess. Book of Clarence. We just saw that. And Lakeith Stanfield plays a twin.
That's true.
The fact that didn't even register on our radar is probably not great. Okay, so this sounds very interesting.
Witches, Tia and Tamara.
Okay. There were two different people though. That don't count. That's not the same person playing the two different people.
Okay, so I won't mention Passport to Paris with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Nope. Also does not count. Those are two different people. Same people. See, okay, it must not be that. It must not happen.
The Shining, the two creepy girls in the hallway.
No.
Twins.
So Ryan Coogler's behind this, so I'm already on board. We'll see. I'm very interested to see Michael B. Jordan play twins. Like that is very intriguing to me.
I'm interested in the 1930s vampire.
Okay.
And the fact that this is also supposed to be inspired by some type of anime.
Yes, they did say that.
I love how black people are co-opting just like all things anime.
Hey, bring it.
We do Castlevania. Well. That's fine.
Castlevania got the latest season has black vampires, right?
It's Castlevania definitely in 1930s. It's way older. But
yeah.
Okay. So we're talking 1930s though?
That's like
after slavery, but during segregation.
that's
very interesting.
That's pro Jim Crow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's even gonna factor in. You know what I mean? Or if
it's gotta.
You think so?
If 1930s.
What if it's not like in America though? What if it's in like London? I feel like worse.
They might get sued because Blade is based in London.
Hey.
He's a British vampire.
Marvel does not have a lock on black vampires in London. Okay, he can be in Australia. China.
Okay, China. Fine. China or Japan. I'll take that.
Brazil. Anywhere. Yes, I'm curious. Location, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about all of this, actually. But we'll keep y'all up to date on what we hear about this as time moves along. We have one more quick bit, and that is Samuel Jackson and Dave Bautista will star in Afterburn. This film follows a treasure hunter. I didn't read this beforehand. That's why I'm reading this. This film follows a treasure hunter and a freedom fighter who must recover the Mona Lisa in a world set 10 years after a solar flare has wiped out technology across the world. Who's the treasure hunter? Who's the freedom fighter?
And what freedom are you fighting for?
Well, there's a solar flare situation, so I'm assuming this is post-apocalyptic. So they're probably fighting for freedoms of the people who didn't get
so you think... okay. So,
it's kind of like that rich versus poor post-apocalyptic situation.
The typical post-apocalypse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like
set.
Like District 9 situation.
Desert, no food,
there you go.
Heat, crippling government.
So then the Mona Lisa is probably, the
last valuable artifact on the planet.
Right. I'm going to give Bautista as a treasure hunter and Samuel Jackson as the freedom fighter. Just off rip. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It sounds interesting. I mean,
what does a freedom fighter need the Mona Lisa for, though? Like, I could see why Dave Bautista would need it. What is the freedom fighter's angle in stealing the Mona Lisa?
I don't know. It says recover, though. So maybe it's been stolen.
Oh, recover. Mm-hmm. Okay, recover. Mm-hmm. Sure. That's interesting.
I would watch it. I mean, Dave Bautista in movies is cool. I mean, I like Samuel Jackson, so I don't even have to mention that. But I like Dave Bautista, the actor. So I'll check it out.
Will a solar flare do that?
Oh my God. Not you trying to be scientifically accurate about it.
It says intense solar flares release high energy particles that can be as dangerous to humans as low energy radiation from nuclear blasts. Okay.
So I was like, out.
I was thinking like, okay, so does a solar flare burn you? But apparently not. It's more like a chemical burn.
Oh,
like a nuclear reactor.
But how would
burn.
it affect technology? Somebody knows that's listening.
It says low energy radiation from nuclear blasts, and if you know something about atomic bombs, after an atomic bomb goes off, the after effect is an EMP.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like low energy, like a nuclear blast. So
okay.
I'm assuming the solar flare was like an EMP on Earth.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. Look at us getting all science fiction-y.
Told you Oppenheimer was good.
It is nominated for like a bazillion Oscars this year. So it sounds good. We'll keep you guys up to date on when this is coming out. It sounds like it might already have it's already got a plot, so it might already have a script. Not sure if it's in post-production or pre-production yet, but I like this collab. Nick Fury and Drax.
Dave Bautista was just complaining about not being taken seriously in enough roles, so here you go.
Yeah, he's good. I like him though.
I like Dave Bautista.
Yeah. He is the best, I would say, and this might be, somebody might burn me for this, out of the wrestlers turned actors, he's probably the best one. And when I say I mean The Rock, John Cena, I'm only talking about three people.
Yeah.
It's definitely like Dave Bautista, The Rock, John Cena.
Because he actually gets out there and does different roles.
Yeah. He
shows range.
He's done the most different. Now, a lot of his roles are like big burly guy who's like tough or whatever. But they at least, like Drax is totally different from his character in, say, Dune.
Knock at the Cabin?
I didn't see Knock at the Cabin. You know I don't do that. Dune and the guy from Dune and Drax were different.
He's less funny white Drax.
Okay, never mind then. I still stand by he's the best of the three.
He was good in James Bond.
What James Bond was he in?
He played Knuckles, or the guy with the metal fingers that was poking dudes' eyes out.
Oh, okay.
You know they all got weird names.
Yeah. Okay. I totally forgot he was in James Bond.
He played a good henchman in James Bond.
Okay.
He was in Knives Out, too.
I liked him in Knives Out. Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the reason why The Rock is talking about joining A24 and doing
So
more
he wanna
series.
be more serious.
He's like, this new dude's coming in here and stealing my thunder.
I mean, he can act, he can act. I mean, what you do about
risk.
that? He does, and The Rock does not take risk, but he's trying to. So
I will see his A24 movie if it looks good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I used to love The Rock when he was The Rock. So he makes enjoyable films.
He does make enjoyable films.
I can't deny that.
He's just
not serious.
And he limits his range himself.
He doesn't like to die and get hurt in movies, and I feel like you got to have to do that if you want to be in like serious movies. So that is it for our news, and now we're going to get into our trailer extravaganza
tomorrow, because this is Saturday.
Right. We'll be back after a short break.
All right.
Okay, we are back to do our trailer extravaganza, which is interesting because we didn't get a lot of trailers.
No.
Like we thought. We were running down all the movies we were missing, and there's quite a few. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trailers to talk about. I feel like my voice is hoarse as I'm listening to it because I was screaming to the top of my lungs. Because Beyonce also came out with an announcement for Act 2, but we're not going to talk about that because it's about the movie trailers. But we have 5 trailers to go over for our trailer extravaganza for this episode. And the first one we got, I'm going to do them in order, I think, of the order that they displayed for the Super Bowl. First one was A Quiet Place Day 1, which is a prequel to the 2 Quiet Place movies that have come out with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have not.
And Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy was the lead actor in Quiet Place 2. It was him and Emily Blunt.
I had no idea. That totally missed my radar, which lets you know I hadn't seen either one of those. Lupita
Nyong'o.
Thank you. Lupita is the star in this one. It looks really good. I thought the Quiet Place was leaned more horror, so that's why I think I avoided the first 2. But this one looks good, and I will be seated when it comes out.
Yeah, so it looks like the first contact, or at least where this film picks up, is in New York.
Right.
So this is, I think it's very interesting that it's all going to take place in one day.
Okay,
because
so I
throughout
take
the whole trailer, they're wearing the same clothes in every scene. So I think it's supposed to only be like the first day of the invasion.
And it's interesting because I took day 1 as like this is the day that everything started, but day 1 could actually mean this is the very first 24 hours.
Yeah, because at least in this trailer, what they've shown us, she's in the same clothes.
You're right.
And the guy who's her co-star in this film, Joseph Quinn, who is rumored to also be the Human Torch.
This would be a nice setup for him.
He's like in the same business suit.
Right, the whole time. Interesting. So the trailer is pretty much, it shows Lupita's character walking through New York City, and then there is a comet of some sort that crashes, and then you start seeing the aliens attack people that are making noise. So it seems like the people very quickly find out that making noise is what triggers the aliens to attack, and then it comes real post-apocalyptic immediately after that. But it's giving Lupita's gonna act her behind off in this.
Supporting, she was very good in Us.
Supporting cast is gonna be good. Visuals and scares are gonna be good. So I'm looking forward to this. It releases June 8th, so it's coming out this year. Well, all the trailers that we're talking about are coming out this year, but it is gonna be a summer blockbuster probably.
Yep.
I know the Quiet Place seems to have a big following, so Quiet Place Day 1 releases June 8th, and we will 99% chance review this on the podcast.
Hope she lives. I hope this isn't like one of those prequel things where everybody dies.
Right. Interesting, because she's not in, I'm assuming her character at least is not in any of the other 2 movies.
No, because the other 2 are like years into the invasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess her character could just be somewhere else.
Yeah, just surviving,
separate from,
but no longer center. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. Are we good to talk about the next one?
Yes, we are.
So the next one was the most anticipated trailer was going to come out days, months leading up to the Super Bowl. It was for Deadpool 3. Now, one thing we caught on pretty early with these, and I guess Super Bowl commercials have been doing this for a while, they'll give you like a 30-minute or 30-second snippet and then say, now this trailer is online. So,
which I had a feeling when you had said that somebody had said that the trailer was going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and they were going to show it at the Super Bowl. I was like, there's no way they pay for that much ad space.
Right. I was like, that would be $1 billion commercial.
Yeah.
Literally. So with most of these trailers, it was literally, here's 30 seconds teaser, and then go watch the trailer online. So we only got a few moments or shots of Deadpool, the character Deadpool without his suit on. So he's got his burnt up face. He got on his real bad wig. It is a birthday party. I think it's a birthday party for him. And then the TVA shows up.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, knocking on his door like, hey, yo, come with us. And then we kind of get the TVA is chasing him. The trailer does not give us the plot, in my opinion, enough to know what Deadpool 3 is going to be about.
No, yeah, the TVA guy, there's a guy that calls himself
Paradox, right?
Who was not involved in the Loki series at all. But this is supposed to be the same TVA.
Seems new to me.
But has no Loki characters in it, so far as we've shown seen.
I wonder if Paradox is a character who's kind of filled the void of Renslayer not being around. But they still had the judges. Interesting.
Well, it's supposed to be Wunmi Mosaku, and them have taken the leadership role.
And maybe he's just a agent?
So maybe he works under her.
Super agent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under B16.
Right. There's a lot of questions. I will say this. There's a lot of questions. I guess we should also say that the official title for Deadpool 3 is Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so now it's
not really a spoiler alert.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. If you didn't know, Wolverine's going to be a Deadpool 3.
Right.
And if you didn't know that, you've been living under a rock. Welcome to Outside of the Rock.
Right.
It is coming out July 26th. I believe they have finished filming. So they shouldn't, I don't expect this to be delayed unless something crazy happens. The whole trailer is very much Deadpool seems to be running from the TVA.
We don't know if he's running from them or helping them, because it seems like in the beginning they're recruiting him,
it's
but then
real
throughout the whole trailer he's murdering them brutally.
It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of not quite sure. Essentially, Pyro's in this.
Yep. From
the other X-Men movie. So, and then at the very end, we actually don't even get Wolverine in full flesh. We just see a shadow of him.
We get 2 shots of him.
Oh, do we? Okay.
So we get a shot of him from the back where he's dressed in a white suit. It looks like at a casino.
Okay.
You can see his hair is in horn shapes. That's also supposed to be ripped from the comics. But yeah, and then we get the scene at the very end where he's in the yellow.
So we're going to need another trailer to get the full picture.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. There was a scene where he was in the TVA and Paradox is showing him TV screens of the Avengers, in different moments across the movies.
I personally call what I think is Thor Ragnarok scene on one of the screens.
Yeah, so he's definitely looking at New York, Attack on New York.
Yes.
He's definitely looking at Age of Ultron, and then there's Ragnarok is on one of the TV screens.
It definitely looks like Thor Ragnarok on one of the screens. I will say, of course, there's quite a bit of comedy in this. It's definitely going to be rated R just based on the jokes that he's telling. I laughed though. I did chuckle quite a few times at the full trailer.
Yeah.
I will give it that. One of my biggest things with Deadpool 2 was that it was just too goofy. The shtick, Ryan Reynolds' shtick was just a little too thick.
It looks like it's going to be like that in here too.
Hopefully they dialed it back because Hugh Jackman is kind of going to counterbalance that a little bit.
I think they're going to keep it the same, and Hugh Jackman is supposed to counterbalance that.
Okay.
Like he's going to be just as annoying, but then you also have Hugh Jackman who counterbalances.
Okay, sure. I'll take it. The little bit of action scenes we got that Deadpool did with the gun was pretty cool. I thought that looked good.
Yeah.
There is a shot of the Fox 20th Century, just a little corner of it. Yep. If you didn't know that's what it was, you probably couldn't tell, but that's also in the trailer. Yeah, I'm excited. It's got me excited. I would have wanted a little more of what's happening here, but this is Marvel, and we know how they do. And they're gonna piecemeal us until the movie comes out.
Yeah.
So I hope that it does not get spoiled before we all get a chance to see it. I will say that much.
Yeah.
People are itching to spoil it, so hopefully we make it July 26th unscathed.
Yeah, because not a lot of the set photos that were leaked were involved in this at all. So there's a lot of things that...
Very true.
It was like you had mentioned earlier when they showed the trailer. It was 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and they gave us nothing.
No, which is...
like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Not surprised.
They just gave us like more scenes of Deadpool doing Deadpool stuff that you've already seen in Deadpool 1 and 2.
And the official confirmation that Wolverine's going to be like in his suits. And the TVA. I guess we got more official confirmation that the TVA is involved because we already knew Wolverine was going to be there.
Yeah.
So absolutely, positively, we'll be reviewing this on the podcast. If any more trailers come out, we'll definitely review them, hoping that we do not get spoiled before it comes out.
Okay, next trailer, Wicked.
Part 1,
which is a film adaptation of Act 1 of the Wicked musical, which is about Glinda, the Good Witch, and the first Wicked Witch.
Okay.
Who is not actually in the... So this Wicked Witch is not actually in the Wizard of Oz story.
Set in the land of Oz before and continuing after Dorothy Gale arrives from Kansas. The film revolves around the Bad Witch and the path, and explores the path that leads her. So it's about her path to becoming the witch. So this is her OG self. Path to becoming the witch.
Yeah.
While forming an unlikely friendship with her rivalry with Glinda, who won't go on to become Glinda the Good. Interesting. Okay, so this is about the Wicked Witch of the West and how she became to be that.
Yeah.
Got you. I don't do musicals typically, so I did not know that's what Wicked was about. I'm curious of how the part 1 and part 2 are split. It doesn't really say that on the wiki page, but for somebody who's not a big fan of musicals, this looked really good. They almost got me convinced that I might actually go see this when it opens.
I don't think that Wicked ends... I think Wicked ends in a way, though, that's very obscure in whether or not it leads directly into the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Huh. I honestly don't know. The production looks really good.
It's kind of like Maleficent. It's kind of like when they went back and redid Maleficent, and now there's no way Maleficent leads into Sleeping Beauty.
Right. Because of her care, they kind of changed her backstory a little bit.
They made her like a hero.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing with Wicked, where they kind of go back and they humanize the Wicked Witch so that there's no way that this lines up
this
with
is
the
the
rest
same
of the Wizard of Oz.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I do like Maleficent, so I must like it enough to go with it. Some big stars are in this. Cynthia Erivo is playing, oh my gosh, what is
I think it's Elphaba
Thorpe?
Yeah, which is the Wicked Witch of the
West.
West.
Is the Wicked Witch of the West. Okay, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, Jonathan Bailey is in this, and then one person I didn't know that was in this was Jeff Goldblum, who's playing the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
Had no clue.
Yeah,
that probably is pretty much what probably convinced me to go see this. was the singing, because the songs sound really good, and then I was like, oh, Jeff Goldblum's the Wizards. I'm probably going to see this now.
I'm absolutely not interested in the song.
No, you're a no for it.
But I do like Jeff Goldblum. I do like Michelle Yeoh. So I absolutely go see for them. And I like Ariana Grande. I haven't seen Cynthia Erivo in anything.
Have I seen her?
Right here, she's a good recording artist and actress. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know if it's going to make it on the podcast, y'all, but one of us might go watch it. It is coming out. Part 1 of Wicked is coming out Thanksgiving of this year, so that's November 27th. I don't think there is a release date. I'm looking for part 2 yet. So,
so November 27th, 2024 is part 1, and then part 2 is rumored the 26th. So
of the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oof. Really? You gonna put them 1 year apart?
I know that Broadway made a lot of money. It had a big following, and it ran for a really, really, really long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess people probably are willing to wait.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So next on our list is The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is scheduled to come out May 10th of this year. The trailer was kind of a mix of what we've already seen, but a lot of new clips too. Mm-hmm. We get more of the human in this one, the human girl that seems like the main human focus, and then the villain ape whose name is escaping me right now. Moses.
Maximus Caesar?
There it is.
Yeah.
We get more of him doing his speech at the end. It doesn't give a whole lot, but at least I think this was the only one of the trailers that didn't make us go online to watch the rest.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for that. Anything stick out to you about this one?
No, it's just more shots of like apes on horses terrorizing
Each other.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
and
sad about that.
humans. But I think that's like the whole metaphor about eventually evolution just loops back around and the apes are treating each other exactly the same way humans treated each other. And then eventually the humans will
take over,
repeat itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Stop being slaves and uprise and
So you're saying by the third movie in this trilogy, it's going to flip back.
Or it's going to at least indicate that it's going to flip back in the other direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of giving how Prey is indicating that at some point the predators are actually going to come and take over.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Right, exactly.
All right, so the other trailer that we got that we were also super excited about behind Deadpool was Twisters. And Twisters is the sequel to the 1996 film Twister, no S. If you have not seen Twister, stop what you're doing. Well, after you finish this episode, go watch Twister. It is a classic. I'm almost surprised it's taken this long to do a sequel, or somebody else has not attempted a remake or a prequel of some sort.
There have been other tornado films
but nothing ain't touching
weren't
Twister.
as good. No, because the writing wasn't good.
Right. This looks like a visual spectacle for all ages.
Yeah.
It was good.
So the first Twister received Academy Award nominations for Best Visual Effects and Best Sound.
Did it? I did not know that.
So this movie has to at least do that or more.
I mean, well, now they have the technology, so there would be no excuse.
We're post Moonfall, we're post Geostorm, we're post The Day After Tomorrow.
What's that movie with the rock with the cliff? San Andreas? That one?
Post San Andreas or post 2012. We've like seen so many disaster movies,
right,
with good visual effects.
The one with Jake Gyllenhaal, Frozen.
The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay.
So Independence Day 2.
Yeah.
So the visual effects are absolutely there to make this amazing because twisters are real. It's not like you have to go.
I like how we're calling them twisters and not tornadoes, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what they call them. It's twisters. So, yeah.
I can't think of the last time I've seen Twister, but I can tell you I've seen Twister at least 5 times or more. At least. Maybe not from beginning to end.
Twister's a lot. Yeah.
That is one of the movies that I need to add to the DVD collection before I can't find it.
We used to have
anywhere.
Twister on VHS.
That's how old Twister is.
Yeah, in the slide out sleeve.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie. Daisy Edgar Jones seems to be the lead here. Glenn Powell seems to be the quote unquote villain. Although you don't really have villains. You have antagonists.
He's
we'll
like
put it that
the
way.
showboat guy from the first Twister.
Right. I wonder if he's a descendant.
I'm looking at the cast list for original Twister, and I'm looking at the cast list for new Twisters.
Yes. With
the names of the characters, and none of them share last names.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the characters in the first Twister did not have last names. Like
we didn't need it.
Cary Elwes's character, who was the villain, quote unquote, he was just named Jonas. Like they never mentioned his last name. Bill's Paxton's character was just Bill.
Wow, Bill.
Yeah, everybody just had like first names. Alan Ruck's Rabbit was just Rabbit.
Okay. Aunt Meg was just probably
Aunt
Meg. That is funny. So it's not a surprise that a lot of these people on this cast list don't have character names.
And everybody doesn't have to be related, I guess.
No. Yeah, it doesn't have to. I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be some sort of like legacy type of situation. Right. We're here for the Twisters, not really for the cast. So Anthony Ramos is also in this. There's like 12 other people linked on here. David Cornsweet, you noted, is in here.
Superman is in here.
Superman will be our new Superman in Superman Legacy, which comes out in 2025. So he's in this. So this will be a nice introduction for people who are not familiar with his work.
Yeah.
If he's in here significantly.
He's at the bottom of the cast list.
Yeah, so he might be kind of somebody impaled by car.
Rebarb.
Right. And that might be it. So we will be seeing this in the biggest theater that has the loudest sound with the seats that move. Because how else could you experience this film? That's the only way.
Yeah, that's true.
That or Dolby, I guess. Like we saw Moonfall in Dolby, and my eardrums were like a little rattled afterwards, but that was what I wanted. So hopefully Twister does the same thing.
Yeah, so this needs to be in like the biggest screen in the loudest theater. I need to really feel like I'm experiencing.
I want to feel like the wind through my hair.
Like how we felt in Moonfall when it was just
loud,
sensory overload.
So loud. Yeah. Because that movie was about the moon crashing into the earth. So just imagine what type of craziness they can come up with.
Yeah, so Twister won, nominated for Best Sound and Visual Effects at the Academy Awards, won a BAFTA for the Best Special Visual Effects.
Very good.
Won an MTV Movie Award.
Nah, those don't count.
Well, I mean, they count when you win.
Okay. Fair enough.
They won for Best Action Sequence for the truck driving through the farm equipment, which was a good scene when they drove through the barn, the drive-in scene.
Yes, when the Twister came through
while they were watching. I think it was The Shining.
I think it was either Shining. I think you're right. It was The Shining.
And the scene when Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton were running away from the tornado and they ran into
the barn.
The barn to have the knives and the butchering.
And they had to use like the rope or leather strapping and somehow survives being caught up in a tornado. We're spoiling Twister, but I mean, this is your fault. The movie came out in 1996. So yeah. If you haven't seen it, we haven't given away all the good bits in that. So going to see Twisters. Going to record or going to review it on the podcast. It does not come out till July 19th, so it's going to be another summer blockbuster.
It's going to be a fun summer, it looks like.
It is.
Yeah.
We deserve, because this last January, February been a little dry.
Yeah.
Just a tinge. That is all we have for trailers. We got some other little bits from If, the Imaginary Friends movie that is coming from, stars Ryan Reynolds, directed by John Krasinski. I think that was the only other movie that had even kind of... Kung Fu Panda. There was a couple Kung Fu Panda spots, but nothing that hasn't already been shown, I think, on social media.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much wrapped it up. And then Usher did an amazing, I know that's not how you spell amazing, halftime show. We were all turned up for that. And then Beyonce announced the fact that she's coming out with a new album, and we forgot about the game. Yeah. Pretty much after that.
We're supposed to get another Godzilla X Kong trailer Wednesday.
That'll be in our next episode.
We're going to have to discuss that if it's got some interesting enough footage next week.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think, did anything else get announced movie-wise? I think that was it. Yeah. It was a pretty lackluster movie trailer Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's like a ton of movies coming out. We were saying how there was no Bad Boys 2 trailer.
Yeah.
There was no trailer for another Dune trailer, but I think Dune released something this week.
No Mad Max.
Which I was very surprised about. I figured Mad Max would have had something, because that's coming out in March. So that's almost kind of around the corner.
Yeah.
But CinemaCon is coming up in April. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Yeah, no, they probably just saved their money.
Or that.
Yeah.
They probably were like, we're not spending several million on 30 seconds just to tell people it's on YouTube, which is essentially what most of the trailers did. So that wraps up our episode. We are going to review the most anticipated movie of the year next week, and that is
Madam Web.
Lord, I hope it's better than what I think it's going to be.
The comic book film experience of a lifetime.
It's a Spum.
Madam Web from the Spum universe.
Yeah. Spum has got quite a few. We got Madam Web, we have Craven, and we get Venom. And everybody's going to think they're Marvel movies. Just like the actresses in the movie thought they were working for Marvel.
Yeah, they always do that. They always hire them for these one-off films that have nothing to do with the MCU, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the MCU." And, it's like,
and then they're like, "No," and then they get upset about it. Which, I mean, is fair. If you thought you were joining the Marvel family, and Kevin Feige was like, "But
you should know at this point. If you don't meet Kevin, you're not in the Marvel family."
Yeah. So next episode, we will be reviewing Madam Web. It'll probably be a good time, regardless of whether the movie is excellent or not excellent.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. And also, we want to thank you guys for listening. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on our website, vaguelynerdy.com, where you can also leave us a voicemail. And if it's nice, we'll play it on the show. You can follow us on Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod or on IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. And you can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com if email is your thing. Thank you for listening.
Until next time.
All right. Bye.